First fight week in 2.5 years. Alex. How does it feel to be back in the fight week bubble?
Honestly, it feels really good. I got a good attitude about it. Excited about it all. I'm actually kind of excited about the weight cut, weirdly enough.
Yeah, that is
Um,
weird.
yeah, I just, I kind of just getting back into feeling like I'm getting into a fight again. I like that. I like that whole feeling. It's been a while. It's been such a long road, and it's almost here. So I'm just very excited.
Yeah. So you miss these kind of things. As I know it's some if you had so many fights, right? At some point, you do the same thing all over again. You do the media day and the weight cut and all the things that come with the fight week. At some point, it gets a little bit old, right? You're like, oh, here we go again. But now being away from this and the reason why you were away for a little bit, does it make it exciting again to experience all this again?
Exactly. I think as you get a little bit older into the sport, you get into you could get in the habit of kind of taking things for granted, and
Yeah.
you know just being annoyed by things that most people would be excited about, like ESPN following you around and doing interviews, like this. So I think I have an attitude that's a little bit more positive and excited and just grateful for it all. Just because I knew it could have got taken away.
Yeah, exactly. At one because you had a long recovery. I remember when you just had the surgery the first time after the injury. I think like a couple of weeks out already. You were like already back in the gym, and I was like, seems like he's maybe a little bit too eager. Is there anything in that process, looking in hindsight, you thought like, well, maybe I should have waited a little bit longer?
No, everything I did was like what I felt like was the best thing to do. None of the stuff that I did trying to come back early hurt me. The surgeries I had to get, though I had 4 surgeries total, was all stuff I needed to get. I was going to need to get regardless. It was just the way it healed and the issues I had. So it's nothing I could have really done differently to change that. It's not like, oh, I hurt. It's not like I hurt myself going to the gym, too early.
No.
That was me just trying to get my mind right and just do the best I can.
Yeah. How is the mind now?
Strong, strong, very strong. Um, Very excited to come back. I know a lot of people feel like I'm just kind of coming back to see how I feel and you know, try to be an inspiration because coming back from a traumatic leg break like this is not easy to do, and it's inspiring for people to see. But I'm coming back for more than that. I'm coming back to take over this division and to shock the world again. And the first guy up is Brad Tavares.
Yeah. Is it because he said you have a strong mind? Because I know sometimes fighters coming back from a leg injury like that, it can stick in their mind, right? But then I read a quote from you. I don't know if you really said it, that the first thing I'm going to do when the fight starts is going to throw a leg kick as hard as I can.
Yeah, I think if I'm in there and I start feeling a little bit nervous about throwing a leg kick, I'll probably just throw it as hard as I can because that's kind of how I am. I just if I'm nervous to do something, I'm going to do it to shut myself up. And I try to go through life like that in almost every situation. If I'm uncomfortable doing something, I'll do it. Take that fear away, and you only grow from doing things that you're uncomfortable doing. So
Yeah. What is it? Because you said you want to cross the division again. You want to have a championship run. Um, what is it at this stage in your career that motivates you? And maybe people probably ask you a million times already, but you have nothing to prove anymore, right? You fought the who's who. You became champion. You have great pedigree in wrestling. So you proved everything that there is to prove. So what is it that keeps you going now, motivates you to do it all again?
no, I mean, yeah, I feel like I have way more to prove. I I'm trying to. I feel like I'm up and coming again. I feel like I'm like a prospect on the prelims, coming up the rankings, and ready to take over. I want to get. I want comeback of the year. I want breakthrough fighter of the year, and then next year I'll take fighter of the year once I become champion.
That sounds like a great task ahead of you.
I've done it once before. I've done all those things. So I got it. I
Yeah.
didn't do comeback fighter of the year, but I've been breakthrough fighter of the year and I've been fighter of the year. And so I want to finish my career like that. That's what I want to prove. And it's not if I didn't think I was capable of doing it, I'd be like, you know what, I'm happy with my career. I'm happy with what I've accomplished, but I still have that much potential, and I'm still that good that that's what I need to prove. I'll prove to myself and prove to everybody else.
Yeah. Is that also like the danger, right? So at the point you start getting content with what you proved. It's like when the thought gets in your mind, yeah, I proved already so much. If you let that thought inside your head, that you let slip away a little bit.
Wait, one more time. I'm sorry.
Well, you just said, well, I could be content with everything I accomplished already, and you could you should, because you accomplished a lot. But moment you let that thought get a hold of you that you did accomplish a lot, that's also the moment that you let it slide a little bit.
100%, and I've experienced that. I think that's a reason why I had my losses. I went from being undefeated, world champion, defending my belt multiple times, and then having my first loss, and then multiple losses after that. And a lot of that was to do with me kind of just going through the motions, not really having like strong motivations what I was trying to accomplish at that point. And now I really have a strong sense of what I'm trying to do and what I want to accomplish, and I feel better with that.
Yeah. Why is Brad Tavares the right guy for you to make your comeback?
Well, they offered him. He's he's got the most decision wins in the history, tied, I think, for the history in the middleweight division. Live experience. He's fought the who's who of the middleweight division. He went to, he went to a decision with Adesanya in 5 rounds. He went to a decision, a close fight with Dricus du Plessis. These guys are on the top of the division, and it's an opportunity for me to come out and like showcase. Not that I'm just healthy and I'm back, is that I'm better than ever.
Yeah, because he's like you said, he fought the who's. He's a veteran in his own right. He's been around for a long time. Tough guy, not easy to deal with. Yeah, that seemed like a good test for you to make your return against.
Let's see. All right, yeah, let's see where I'm at. This is it's a tough dude. He's no pushover. I don't expect an easy fight. But the goal is trying to go out there and finish him and make a statement.
Yeah, a lot happened while you were away, right, in the middleweight division. A lot of changes, a lot of interesting developments. How do you see the landscape now?
I don't know. You got Adesanya up top. I mean, he's done great things. He's the only guy in the middleweight division who's defended his belt more than me. Other than Anderson Silva, only guy who's currently in the UFC. So that's the guy I want to get to. But he's like a TikToker. He paints his nails. You got Spazoid Dricus du Plessis, who's now one of the best guys in the world. I don't know how that's happened. Like this guy, he's complete spaz, and he's got there winning. So I don't know. I feel like the middleweight division, they need a guy like me to come in and mix it up. And there's no wrestler like me, and there's nobody as well rounded as me. So I'm here to prove that.
Yeah, what do you think of Sean Strickland fighting for the belt now?
I mean, I don't. Does he really deserve it? Probably Dricus du Plessis deserves it, but I mean, it's an easy. It's not the toughest fight for Adesanya. It's a guy who Pereira knocked out in the first round. He moves forward into. He's tough. He's fun. He's entertaining, but he's a funny dude. But I think matchup wise is a tough matchup. He walks forward, his kind of shins up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna parry punches. I think that's why he got himself in trouble with Pereira. I respect the balls he has. But Adesanya is just very tricky on the feet, and he's going to move a lot. He's like, he'll be like the matador, and it's a tough matchup for Strickland.
Yeah, I agree. I think Adesanya is a little too smart for him. But
yeah,
it's fight IQ. I mean, yeah.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. One more final thing I want to ask you about. Somebody you know well, of course, in the main event on Saturday, Aljamain Sterling going up against Sean O'Malley. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think on paper it's the easiest fight Aljo's had in his last like 3 or 4 fights. All of his title defenses. I mean, you look at Henry Cejudo, Peter Yan, and Dillashaw. Like these are tough matchups. These guys who have wrestling, and they hit hard on the feet. So, and you know, every one of them brought something difficult to the table for Aljamain, and on paper were kind of nightmare matchups for him, and he was able to, you know, figure out ways to beat every single one of them. On paper, O'Malley, man, his wrestling doesn't look good. He's just like a very tall and quick, very precise striker on the feet. Dangerous. Love his footwork. He's fun to watch, but he's skinny and kind of weak. And Aljamain is one of those guys. If he gets a hold of you, which is probably going to happen in the fight, if he gets a hold of you and you're weak, it's a problem. We've seen what happened with Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen is kind of similar to Sean O'Malley. Both are very good on the feet, but like they're not like the strongest physically. You know, they're just taller for the weight class, have great range. But I think if you get a hold of them, is kind of where you would, you know, be best at, and that's where Aljo really thrives.
Yeah, all right. Interesting insight. I have to ask one stupid question. I'm sorry, but I have to ask: what's going to be your walkout song on Saturday?
I gotta stick with "Won't Back Down." You know, you know, especially with everything I've been through, you gotta go. Won't back down. People like it. You know, what sucks is that they don't let you carry out the flag. I can't come out with the freaking American flag for the first time in my career.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I think it started, you know, but I think when Ukraine and Russia,
yeah,
and then Russia wanted to come out with their flags. I think they might have stopped them or something, or there was issues. I don't really know. I don't want to talk to something I don't really understand. But either way, they're not having anybody. You can't come out with any flags of any sort. It doesn't matter what it is.
Do you have it after the fight? Oh, no.
I don't think you could have it anywhere where it's visual to the cameras.
No, that kind of sucks.
Yeah. It's maybe first time not being able to, you know, come out. Good thing I got an All-American wrestling tattoo on my back. People know that I'm American and I'm repping the USA.
Oh,
you know?
I reckon they know without a tattoo as well. Don't worry. But yeah, so I think that walkout. That's why I wanted to know, is that still your walkout song? And it seems more fitting than ever now with everything you experience. Walking out, hearing that song go through the arena again. You think it's going to be emotional for you that moment?
I don't know. You know, I'm gonna try to just be in the moment and enjoy it all. And I've been emotional on walks, so who knows? I might get emotional. I might just be chilling, happy. Either way, I want to be nice and relaxed, get in that cage, and let my instincts just work. You know, I think I'm unbeatable when I just, you know, believe and trust in my instincts.
What's going to happen Saturday night?
I'm going to get a finish. I think second round, I just become too much for him. I overwhelm him, and I will get a finish.
And a low kick in the first second of the fight.
If I feel that must be done. Yeah.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, man. I'm very happy for your return, and I can't wait to see you fight again on Saturday. And I hope you have a great fight and a great night.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the interview. That was good.
Yeah, thank you, Ben. Thank you. I appreciate the time. Have a good one.